That is wild. I've never had any yogurt like that before in my life. It is truly so creamy. Like, I don't even have a comparison to help you understand what I'm talking about. But whatever this is, I would 100% try it just as an experience. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Bonji Foods Instagram page. Today we're going to be blind taste testing three radically different yogurts. So we have a dairy-free coconut-based yogurt, Cocojune. We have a lactose-free skim milk yogurt in Green Valley Creamery, as well as an Icelandic nor organic yogurt, which is whole milk. So I want to keep this interesting. I want to keep it quick and provide value to you and what yogurt I think is delicious and hopefully save you money on trial and error. Although that is fun when going to the grocery store, sometimes you just want to know what's good and get in and get out. So all of these companies are really highly regarded and do great jobs. I just find it fascinating that they're just wildly different. They produce the yogurt in radically different ways. So just really quick, Icelandic, they're using various like Icelandic yogurt. The way they produce it, they use a different probiotic in it as opposed to Greek yogurt or traditional yogurt. So that's interesting. They're also using whole milk. And not to get too into the weeds of it, whole milk versus skim milk is just whole milk boiled and then you let it sit, and then a little fat layer comes to the top, almost as though if you made pudding at home in the stove and it has that little fat layer. That little thick layer is fat. So skim milk is removing that fat content. So this whole milk, you're keeping all of that fat content. And I'm not a nutritionist, however, I will tell you, fat has gotten a really bad rep over the last few years. The ketogenic diet is strictly fat-based, so it's coming back and people appreciate the health benefit. But fat does three really powerful things that I think you should know of. One, it helps absorb vitamins. I wrote it down just to make sure I'm right on the money for you. It helps absorb vitamins. It satiates you. So if you eat a small piece of steak, you're really full as opposed to a big bowl of berries. So that's because that steak is a high fat content, and it helps really fill you up. Number three, it reduces the spike in your blood sugar. So when you eat that full thing of berries, you potentially could hit a wall afterwards. Or if you have a coffee with sugar, there's no fat content balancing out your blood sugar levels, so you go really high and then you crash. So the fat content, if you're gonna have coffee with sugar, putting a little splash of milk will help balance out those spikes. But I digress. Right now we have these three brands, all great brands, and I'm gonna review what I find delicious, and I'm gonna guess which of the three is which. So here we go. I'm going with this, the right side one. It's a little watery. After doing all my research in what goes into producing yogurt, I kind of have an idea of what this one is. It's definitely, I'm gonna say off the cusp, Aiden's gonna confirm my guesses, but off the cusp, this one's a little watered down, so I'm gonna say it's definitely not nor organic. So it's gonna be one of the two, either low fat or vegan alternatives. So I hope I'm right. These are all, by the way, vanilla. I can't do plain. It's way too sour.
What do you think of that one? Right off the bat.
I would say this one is, whatever this one is way more closer to plain yogurt than it is vanilla. So, and that's not a bad thing, because I think some of the flavored yogurts are way too high in sugar. So the sugar content's way too high. This tastes like a really natural, balanced yogurt. eating this, I would think it's a plain yogurt, not a vanilla. And by the way, all of these are supposed to be vanilla. So
Which one do you think that one is?
are you gonna tell me per one?
I'll tell you after.
I think this is the Green Valley. Aiden doesn't look impressed, so I'm a little worried that I got that wrong. But it's creamy. This one, it's good texture. It's a little watery, but not too watery. It's a little too sour for me, my personal preference. But that is yogurt. I mean, probiotics are fermented, and it provides that little sourness. That's why sourdough has the yeast and the probiotics. It's a little sour. So that's
You want to
It is what it is.
Your guess behind.
Yes. Okay. All right.
You can change them if you want.
Okay. Okay.
But
I'm gonna say this. I'm pretty locked in that this is the Icelandic, but who knows? We'll see. Just based on the characters of Icelandic is ultra. They're using whole milk, so they're not taking away the fat content. Fat content provides an extra creaminess to every. Anything you make. If you add more fat, you're probably gonna get a creamier product. Wow. That I don't know if you could see. This is so creamy. It's almost like it's a solid. It's this is like you could almost drink with a straw. This I almost I almost choked. It was so creamy. That is wild. I've never had any yogurt like that before in my life. It is truly so creamy. Like, I don't even have a comparison to help you understand what I'm talking about. But whatever this is, I would 100% try it just as an experience because it tastes pretty good. Again, it's not too vanilla-y. This is vanilla and chamomile. So I think if I'm right, this is, I guess this right. I think they're trying to balance it out. Let's see the sugar content. Sugar content's 10 grams. It's not too high. It's not low, but
See, you like it a little bit.
it's just trippy. All right. So this one's pretty fat. Like this is literally no water content. It's messing with my head, man. There is slight water around the edges, but not really. This is way more watery. So, let's see. Oh no. Oh wow. This tastes like literally like a creamier, less airy whipped cream. So it's delicious. I would say this is my favorite tasting. I don't know. I haven't checked the nutrition label on any of these. I know all of these brands are trying their best to be healthy, and provide nutritional value to their consumer base, but that tastes like that is delicious.
Goes back in.
And again, it really depends on where you're at. Like my sister, she's lactose intolerant, so she can't eat one of these products. So if you're lactose intolerant, you can't eat the whole milk one. That is what it is. So
Are you locked in with your guesses?
yeah, dude, I'm locked in.
You got them all right.
I got them all right.
You got them all right.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, this Cocojune is delicious. Let me see how the sugar is. Only 6 grams of sugar, dude. These people are crushing. These people, like, this is This is I really recommend breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Like it has no dairy in it, so if you're vegan or if you're lactose intolerant, you just don't do well with dairy, or if you do exceptionally well with dairy, this is just delicious. It's vanilla chamomile. Honestly, it tastes like I'm eating whipped cream. But going back, yeah, it's organic coconut. It's all organic. A little bit of agave syrup. Yeah, I don't. This is a really really clean label. Typically, the problem is when you're making vegan yogurt, you need a thickener because naturally milk is really creamy and thick because of the fat content that comes in the milk. Depending on the base of the vegan yogurt, they might have to add in a thickener, and that's where kind of the unhealthy processed ingredients could potentially come from. Not always, because right here it seems like they're thickening the product and making it creamy naturally with coconut, because coconut's really high in healthy fats, and then cassava root, and is that it? Yeah, cassava root, which is like, like might as well be a sweet potato. So it's like, this is the real deal. It's really legit. It's really good. This Icelandic is, I mean, I don't know. I would be, it would be an interesting experiment. Throw that sucker in the freezer. Fuck. I mean, that's still like, it could be an ice cream. This, nothing to write home about personally, but again, it's low fat. If you're, if you like the low fat diet, if that does well for you, then it's not a bad product. It has the probiotics to help with the gut bacteria. All of them do, including the vegan yogurt. So, I'm definitely going Cocojune though as my top, and then probably the Icelandic product. So, hopefully that helps.